Hello, it's Machaela and welcome to my channel and welcome to a Get Ready With Me featuring a rose tone fall makeup look. I wanted to use both some older and some newer products. I want to do a little bit more full glam but still very wearable. Just kind of something fun for fall, something I've been inspired with. So let's just get started. I have done nothing, so we're starting with skincare. This is an old product. I don't even know if it's still available, but the Kylie Skin Vanilla Milk Toner. Really, any toner will work. Some of these products are, I'm just older and I'm just trying to use them up. Really, I don't have a preference with toner, and everything I am using is known to be pregnancy safe. So I'm not worried about that. And you're also going to get like a fall-like skincare routine. For serum, I have the JLo Beauty That Glow. This is one of my favorite serums. So just a pump of that on the back of my hand. And again, just working that into the skin. Ideally, you probably want to let a lot of the skincare set before you go in with other products. But I am a busy mom, and so I'm just going to get right into it and hope for the best. Moisturizer, I got this Mary Kay Pore Minimizer Mini Moisturizer in like a gift set a couple years ago. And I still have this that I'd like to use. Again, any moisturizer, any toner will work. Just use what you have. I'm more focused on the type of products versus the brands themselves. It's a little bit more of a lightweight moisturizer, but especially for fall and winter coming up, I will be using more and more hydrating, heavier moisturizing products just because I can tell that my skin is definitely on the drier side. I don't know if it's pregnancy related or if it's just the weather itself, or more than likely a combination of the two. For my under eyes, I am going to use the Mudmasky Moisture Boost. I just put a little bit underneath my eyes here, just a tiny dot. Should cover both eyes just fine, and just let that sink in for a minute. For lip prep, I am going to go in with a Jubel Naturals Treatment Lip Mask. I got this in my BoxyCharm this month. I am still kind of testing it out. Not my favorite so far, but it is what I have out. I think it will work like as a great daytime chapstick, but I don't feel like it's like lip mask worthy. But we're just going to let that sit on the lips and sink in while I do the rest of my face. I am just going to fill in my brows really quick. For brow gel, I got this Lavaa Los Angeles Clear Brow Gel. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I think it was a couple months ago at this point. It's not my favorite, but because my brows are thin and I'm not overly worried about gluing them to my face, it'll do what I need it to do. Now, a lot of times people will say use an SPF. I'm not one of those people who uses an SPF every day. I don't like the feel of it. I just don't have time for it. So I'm going to skip SPF. If I am going outside and I know I'm doing a lot of outdoor events, I will wear SPF on that particular day, but it's not something I feel like I need every day, especially that we're heading out of summer and into fall. But I am going to go ahead and go in with primer next. This is the Laura Geller Skin Perfecting Primer. Love this primer. It's moisturizing, it's hydrating, and it just does exactly what I want it to do. So I'm gonna put that all over my face again. Not that the skincare has had a minute to sink in. Now for the fun part, we get to move into the actual makeup portion right after we prep the eyes with the Makeup by Mario Master Prep set. I bought this, I think, was it last Christmas, the year before, I don't know, but I love it. I am going to start with this deeper shade here. I don't feel like I need anything to stand out a whole heck of a lot for this particular look, but I love this. I love how easy it is to use. I love that I can slap it on and be done with my eye prep in a matter of minutes. And then I'm going to take just a flat brush here, go in with the powder side and powder my eyelids and set everything down. For eyes, we're going in with an oldie, a classic, but an absolute goodie, the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I am going to start with the shade Dusty Rose on my crease. This is such a beautiful palette. I love it for this time of the year. I love that it's a classic. I gotta get my hair out of my face. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. Then I'm going to go in with a slightly more tapered brush and go in with the shade Mulberry on the outer V. And I'm just going to work on blending until I get the blend where I want it. My goal for this look is to be easy, but still more glamorous. Honestly, my glamorous or my easy is every day anyway. This kind of look is something I do like to use. I tend to go for an everyday glam. I mean, sometimes I'll go more, sometimes less, depending on my mood and my time that day. But I've got a little bit of time at the moment, so I just want to sit down and just enjoy playing with the makeup. I'll probably go back in with the Dusty Rose and just blend that out again until I am satisfied. Next, I'm going to start with the shade Sultry on just a more flat brush, and I'm going to work from the inner third of the lid, or the outer third of the lid to the inner third, and then just going from here to here. I love this rosy tone color. I'm sure this look has been done 1,000 times, but I'm going to do it again. And then the other side of the brush, again, I want to make this easy. The shade Rose Pink going on the inner corner. If you wanted to get wild, you could totally cut crease this. Again, I just don't want to, but you totally could. And I'm sure when this palette went out, I know that cut creases were very popular. When this was released, I don't know, I don't know how long ago this was released. I was looking at a video the other day of it, and it was at least 7 years ago at this point. But I bought this one, I think, 2 years ago. Still phenomenal. I probably keep my makeup products in my collection way more than I should, but until they start to smell bad, look bad, not perform, I'm going to keep using them. So I think that's going to be it for now. I'm going to move on to my face. So for my foundation, I got the Polite Society More Than a Pretty Face Skin Caring Foundation. I bought it in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. I actually bought quite a few things in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. This is a more full coverage foundation, but one that I feel like has a very skin-like finish on it. I have a makeup palette here. I'm going to put one full pump on the palette, and then I'm going to take my Mario Badescu facial spray, spray my sponge. I'm not going full coverage this time. I mean, I'm sure you can build this up just fine, but I still want it to be wearable and more everyday-ish, like an everyday sort of a glam, which is my typical go-to. Pick a little bit up and then just put this all over the face. For shade reference, I have the shade Very Light N, if you are close to my skin tone. And then I'm just going to buff it. It does apply, I feel like, a little bit darker initially when you put it on the face, but it does blend into my perfect shade match, so it's actually a really good shade match. I was a little bit worried when I first bought it and swatched it, not sure how well the shade match would be, but it's actually really good. I did not need a full pump on that. That's way too much, but that's okay. I'll just use it to clean up my makeup as I feel like I need to towards the end. If I wanted to go in with a second layer, this would be a plenty for 2 or even 3 layers, so I way overdid that. I would say half a pump. That's just kind of my go-to with any kind of a foundation. Let's see, I gotta make sure I get all the parts. I feel like that's the hardest part about foundation and like weird lighting, is that you gotta make sure you're like fully blending out the foundation, especially with a fuller coverage one. So I'll probably end up going off camera and doing a lot more additional blending. So if you see some random perfections between now and the end of the video, that's exactly what I did. For concealer, I'm going to go in with my Lancome Tante Dull All Over Concealer. I love this stuff and I love the flower packaging. I got this last year, I think, in the 21 Days Beauty sale, and I just fell in love with it. So I'm just going to use this to just cover up my under eye. It's not really a brightening concealer shade, but I'm not one to want to use multiple shades of concealer unless I'm like going for a very specific look. I've got a little blemish here, but this works, does everything I want it to do. And again, you know, everyday kind of glamorous type of makeup look. So I'm just gonna blend that out. I've got obviously red spots on the side of my nose that I want to blend out. So I'm not one to like to do a whole lot of powder. However, I do wear glasses. So I do like to powder like around my nose area. So I'm going to take my Laura Mercier. It's the translucent powder, just their classic one. And I'm going to take a little powder puff, just a little bit on the edge here, and then really work it into the powder. I just have a little bit like right here. I don't have a whole lot in the cap. Just working it, and then I'm just going to place a little bit on the sides of my nose and going down to my eyes, and that's it for powder. I won't use anything else unless like I have something that I need to clean up at the end, but the look I'm going for today, I don't think I'm going to need that. So I'm going to keep this a little bit more old school. I'm just going to use powder products for ease of use, but I did get the r.e.m Beauty powder bronzer in my BoxyCharm this month. I've been using it. It's a little bit deep for my skin tone, but I can make it work. I just like to use a light hand, so I'm just going to take some and just do a quick bronzy look. Go all on the top of my head, sides of my nose, and I'm just picking up a little bit at a time, and I'm not going too much. I might go back and actually tone it down a little bit. Actually, this time around it hasn't been too bad, but I have had to do that just because the shade's a little bit dark for my skin tone. I have the shade, I think it's called Solar Storm, and it's their Satin Matte Bronzer. BoxyCharm did not give me an option to pick a shade, so but it's actually not a bad match. It's just a little bit darker than what I want in a bronzer, but it's okay. Nothing I can't personally work with. Or blush, another oldie but a goodie. I don't know if they make this anymore, but if not, I'm sure you can find the same shade in another brand, but it's just their Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush, and I have mine in the shade Dazzled. Again, the perfect rose tone pink. I think the Patrick Tosh duos in the shade Not Too Much would be a perfect alternative if you do not have this blush. This is just the one that I have out at the moment, so that's the one I'm going to use, but I love just the muted pink blush, and I feel like it goes so well with like the rosy eyes. It's so perfect. For highlight, the Lovecraft Beauty highlighter. This is a pinky highlighter. This was another BoxyCharm find. I think Ofra has a good one, but just find whatever kind of like soft pinky, even silvery kind of highlighter, or pinky gold highlighter that works. Highlighters I feel like are very forgiving in terms of shades and tones and stuff. Or even just go in with the soft pink eyeshadow if you really don't have anything else you can use. I'm sure that you can use the rose pink here. If you use a very light hand, I wouldn't recommend going in heavy at all, but just a very, very light dusting of it will probably be fine, especially if you do have a deeper skin tone. But let's go into the lower lash line. I'm just going to take the brush that comes in the palette, and I'm going to take a little bit of Mulberry and buff that just on the lower lashes. Just kind of go all the way across. And then I'm going to take Dusty Rose to blend that out. I just realized that I have a little bit of Dusty Rose on the outer corner here. It's looking a little bit off. So I'm just going to go and do a nice subtle blend. And then I'm going to just take Rose Pink on this brush and just go on the inner corner and just add to that. I'm going to spray my face with the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip setting spray. I did get this also on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I was in need of some setting spray, so this was on sale, so I bought it. Shake it up really good. It does like to separate, so just give it a good shake. Spray it on the face. Let that sink down. I'll even take my sponge, just kind of press it in to my face, especially if I feel like my face is needing a little extra help, which actually I feel like my face is doing pretty good today, so I'm not that worried about it. And then I'm debating whether or not I want to put a lip liner underneath this, but I think for today I'm just going to do this, but it's the Clinique Black Honey, the lip and cheek oil. I'm just going to put this on my lips just to give them some color, but I don't want it to be too much because I want to stick to the nice subtle rosy tones here. But I also picked this shade up in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. They have two other shades of this, but this was the only one that was on sale, which I was kind of surprised about. I felt like other lip products that were on sale, they have multiple shades, but I mean, I'm not too worried about the shades. I love the original Black Honey. So I've had this on my wish list since it came out, so I was happy to pick it up. And lastly, I'm going to go in with the classic Essence Lash Princess Mascara. see if I can do this on camera. If not, I will do it off camera, but I'm just gonna coat my lashes. No, I do not own an eyelash curler. Yes, I have in the past, and then I lost it. I don't feel like it's absolutely necessary, but it does work if you want to take that extra step. But I'm gonna go probably do this off camera real quick. And that's the makeup look done. I love this eye look. I love the mix of rosy tones that I used. I loved how I had added some new things that I picked up, as well as some old classic products that I have. Some are just new to me. Actually, I think all of these are just new to me. I don't think I had any new releases that I'm aware of in this video, but just some stuff I've been loving lately. The perfect fall tone look is here. If I did use something that is not available or you do not have, just find something similar in your collection. These are products that I feel like you can very easily mix and match with other things that you already own, so don't go out and buy anything else. But I love this. Like, it feels cozy. It feels like I'm going into fall and winter, and it's just like the perfect look. And it's featuring a lot of my favorite colors, like rose gold, like rosy pinks are just my absolute favorite colors. So it's very pretty. I'm looking at my eyes right now. It is making my brown eyes pop a little bit, so I just love it. Anyway, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do videos focusing on beauty and lifestyle, and my goal on this platform is to share my love for beauty, as well as my love for Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. If that's what you're into, hit that subscribe button, and if not, but you still want to stick around, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.